Welcome to Humanity Unboxed with me, Michelle Cheyne, and Michaell Magrutsche in a sunny Los Angeles, it seems.
Yeah,
Is it warm there?
south of Los Angeles, Laguna Beach, at the Black Dot Cafe.
At the Black Dot Cafe. Thank you to the
Yeah,
Black Dot Cafe in Laguna Beach
yeah,
um, uh, for the streaming capabilities for Michaell.
yeah.
Michaell, it's a big day today in the conversation of freedom. It's a big day.
It's a big day all over the world because everybody's kind of. It feels like, don't you feel? It's everybody's waiting what comes out of this election, and it's like so weird. What has that to do with anything? And nothing is changing because another person comes or a thing. It's always the same. We don't know. It's very clandestine. I
Mm.
was a politician. I know. I was in 5 or 6 council meetings, and I thought, oh my God, when this comes out on Monday, this is going to be great. Nothing came out, and then the things that I thought will never come out, totally came out,
Mm.
and so it's a total. So the media and politics work together,
Mm.
and they feed each other. The politicians believe what media says, and media gives them politicians. Um, uh, Duties to easy handle. So let's say you have just an immigrant in your area, and there was some death. That's right away connected. It cannot be anybody else but an immigrant. It cannot be, and so this is very easy to handle because you say, okay, no immigrants in this area, blah 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 blah. So it's very easy to handle. But people are homeless, people have no food, people have no money, people have no cash. They commoditize homes right now, which is like the third piece. Shelter is the third things to survive,
Mm.
and it devalues always the humans because everybody starts living by from the system. System should help you getting through while you have an abortion or something happens to you. Your husband died. In the old days, you got paid. You get money till you can catch yourself because you
Mm.
can adjust it because we are 101, right?
Yeah.
So if you need absolutely a hair dryer, a bald person doesn't need a hair dryer, but he gets a hair dryer because that's what the system has.
Yeah.
So the money what the money allows, but they took cash away, and so somebody buys the products they can sell and uses them to help people, but it's pretending help. It's not real help because real help is what you need, your needs to survival, and this help is just saying, oh, we help everybody. We are such a good foundation. We're such a good nonprofit. We take care of it. No, because if you would take care of people, they would get what they need, not what they want or wish or hope for.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. And that's I feel often that these political happenings, like a election, whatever it is, it's been 6 months really of distractions. Everybody's
Yeah,
pulled into this drama show of who did what, and who said what, and how they're going to do stuff that they're never going to do. Our theme this month is freedom, and I think it pertains quite well to the illusion of freedom. Is there freedom? We've kind of said, um,
you mean it's that general thing of freedom, and no, because everybody's a 101. How can that be? For you, freedom is having a family. For me, freedom is being all over, doing whatever I want to do. It's completely different. Freedom is
yeah,
completely different for everybody.
exactly. But does freedom exist? We're never free. We always bound to some level of constraint. You
Yeah,
know, we call America the land of the free, but it's only free within choices. So we called this episode the illusion of choice. You
yeah,
know, now you say we have an election, but you can only choose this one or this one, and
yeah.
often
That's
I
not a
have
choice.
conversations. It's
That's
not
not
a
a
choice.
choice because it's gray.
It's a
Life is
limited
gray.
choice.
Life
Yeah.
is not black and white. Not life is not binary. Life is not linear.
Mm.
Human and thing are non-linear. Humans and nature are non-linear. The systems that we create, we have to be linear, of course, but we are not. adapting to the linear way of life, because that is limiting our one-on-oneness and our expression of our one-on-oneness. And so actually we are more confined, because the hardest thing to be is to fit in and be equal with everybody. The easiest and the freest is when you can be you, you that nature made you. When you can discover that, that was the freest.
But I mean, in essence, you're never going to be free, because you still have to live within certain parameters. You trying to think of an example to this. There's an illusion of freedom, because I can do what I want, but I don't know all the things that I can do, because first of all, the education system has only shown me these parameters to who I am. But who am I? What do I really want? How do I see the world? We at the moment we're busy rewatching this 1883 and 1923 leading up to the Yellowstone. So it's kind of the people moving up the country, and that was freedom to them, to be on the back of a horse and not have to do anything but look after yourself and your horse and your family and all that, which we don't have anymore. We have to make sure that the council tax is paid, so that they fix the road, which they never fix, or the children have to go to school where they don't learn the things that are going to help them in life. And so we have this illusion of choice, which doesn't exist.
Yeah, that's what I say. I say, you're almost getting shamed in America, especially in this year. You get almost shamed because if you don't vote. I voted, but if you don't vote, you get shamed. And then when you want to have impact on anything, you have no impact, because you vote for one of the two. And that's in England and in Canada the same thing. I think in Australia too. It's just two parties. When you vote for,
it's not the same in the UK. I mean, you can vote for all the parties, but in South Africa as well, I think there was something like 56 parties on the ballot for the South African election, which is also ridiculous, because what are they going to do? How do we empower each other? It doesn't matter how many parties there are on the ballot. Are we being heard?
awareness bombs is the only thing that, because the awareness, once you're aware, because we can ask, for example, what we're doing right now, what is the thing of politics? The politics is, because systems are very intricate, and they get more and more intricate, and they will get always adapted and whatever. So we need somebody that represents us in that intricacy, and that's what politicians are. In the old day, politicians were the king, or they just let the people be, and they just took from them. And now they're still taking from you, but they're saying it, they verbalize it, and you voted, you had the power, and I'm taking care of you. I'm doing this stuff, and nobody can. See, this is a lie in itself. No politician can take care of humans. They need to be aware of that humans are one-on-one, and then say, what can I do in the best vein? It will never be perfect. Even I and you cannot be the perfect politicians, because we don't know what the people, but we can see what is our common denominator is being human and being all one-on-one and finding the synergistic fit. So that's why you and I propagate that we want to update systems to that perception. It's the perception that allows us to be more effective, because we are least effective when we generalize, because we castrate and neuter all humans, because we have to have them adapt to a scheme, a rule, a regulation, and you're not yourself. You cannot contribute to humanity really when you're a soldier. When you're a soldier, you are contributing to the system to fight something, to that one intent. And that's what we are still, because we talk about the education. We are still made soldiers to all go to the common denominator of class, of school, of all that stuff. We go to that, but we are not becoming our own contribution of my one-on-oneness or your one-on-oneness, and we find the synergistic fit to actually be really effective also in systems. See, the system thinks is either human or systems. No, it's both. We are the most effective when the one-on-one is a synergistic fit. Then we can actually create the best and most effective systems. We cannot if we all look at the same. If a woman looks like a woman, a man is a man, this race is this race, this, he's that, he's transsexual, he's this. That is the worst thing ever.
But then we're just creating another system. Why do we need, I mean, I know we've had these conversations many times around system being artwork of humans and things like that. But in essence, if we can be empowered enough to make choices, actual choices that aren't prescribed, then we don't need systems, because in that system we have to generalize. They're going to be outdated in any case. How do we empower enough? I mean, the answer is always education. You need to educate, but now we can't educate because the education system is only teaching things
Military.
that are
It's
longer relevant.
military. It's similarity. It doesn't teach uniqueness. It teaches you to be like everybody, adapt. And even if you have nothing, like neurodiverse, have nothing to understanding and no interest in this, they have to adapt to be that. Why? Do you think nature makes a mistake that you have to adapt to something? Yeah, there's rules and regulation with traffic. We talked about this, and with building and whatever. I mean, every apartment needs an internet connection. That's why you have a system, right? Because then you can connect with other people, But in general, you're absolutely right. If we were aware, if this was an aware humanity where everybody knows it's a one-on-one and everybody can contribute what they can, and also knows there's people that are in the group, there are people on the edge of the group, there are people totally outside of the group, and there's people that are just holding the space. That isn't aware. There is no awareness of that, because that's lazy. That's instantly shamed. When somebody just sits and watches, that's, even if you totally change. I mean, the hypersensitive people, listeners will see. We know when there's just one person that just watches. I know it from podcasting. There's always three people, and one was always the technician, but he was just sitting in. One time he's not there, or two times it's a completely different podcast. And the guy is not interested in what we say. He's just a technician, but his energy influences the whole thing. And you know it, otherwise everybody would fall in love with the same person.
Yeah. And that's why we need these different roles. That's why we need to come. Well, my view of it is to connect to this tribal element of seeing each other for who we are. Someone asked an interesting question the other day, where they asked, what do you bring to a group, a specific group? And it was interesting because it's not something we see in ourselves. That's why we had our tribes around us, because when we don't see these things, we see them of each other, and we can influence each other to create the collective that each have to be a different themselves. They're one of oneness. And that's what I think makes this election an interesting space, because I mean, one of the people that are high in the running here, it's blows my mind that we have a personality like that, that could be in charge of running a system that is so big, when he comes with bias and with hatred and with all these segregatory things, these us and them, fight or flight narratives.
That's the whole world is in fight flight anyway. I mean, it doesn't really. The world is, and everybody waits for this election. The whole world waits for this election. And I think,
No, I don't know about that, Michael.
no,
I
at
mean,
least the
it's our
Western world. I
interest.
know Europe
Yeah,
is waiting. Europe is not
yeah.
doing anything right now, and America didn't do anything. The
Mm,
last 3-4 months, nothing is happening. Everybody is afraid to spend money, to hire people, to do this because they want to wait up. And then they think, oh, it's this devil or it's that devil. Okay, now we know the devil. We can adjust to that for the next 4 years. And I
mm,
think that's so immature, and that is so uh, unaware, because you think really whoever is the talking head has any power. No, no, they have they dictate a couple of people around, but the people behind, Thiel, Musk, they run the thing, because ultimately it's never enough. So guess what runs the thing? The money runs you know I mean,
mm,
Elon should be the guy that drops the costs. He should be the new minister of dropping the costs.
mm,
When you drop the costs only, without seeing that the effectiveness, the core of the system, what is the vision of the system, when you just cut the costs, then what happens anyway? All the costs are constantly cut, and it's scaled, and ultimately the human doesn't get enough. The human gets less and less. The human
mm.
doesn't get money. The human gets products that nobody needs. It just there's no help. Uh, why do they commoditize homes? Because they need cash flow, and there is no cash flow. They need constantly flow, and they need much more. The leaders, all the leaders, they don't need $2,000-3,000 or pounds. They need 50,000, 100,000 pounds every month. So they're gonna push down, and the poorest thing are the people in the middle, because they have to take what the people really need from systems, and they get from the things cut costs. So the whole perspective for everyone, it's income is gaming the system, and that is absolutely insanity. Systems are here to help. They're not an income source. And now we all game the system, or try. Obviously, you and I, we can't game the system. We're too neurodiverse. But the people are gaming the system so that to have an income. And
But
they're
that's
not
capitalism,
themselves,
though, isn't
Michelle.
that
And they're not
capitalism?
themselves. They're
No, they're not.
adapting to game the system. Is humanity adapt? Human life is not adapting to game the system that we created. We
Yeah,
can update the system. That is insane.
yeah. But we can also function outside the system.
No,
We
we can
don't.
anyway. If there's no humans, if there's no systems, we have a harder time. But we will live. If there's no humans, the systems are irrelevant.
Well, yeah. And if there's no systems, we can adapt very quickly. We are creative,
Of
collaborative
course, we built
creatures.
those systems,
Yeah,
Michelle.
yeah,
We
and
built those outdated systems, and we
yeah,
even allow them to be outdated.
yeah, yeah. I'm still going through with the breakdown to breakthrough. We need these systems. These systems are broken. I don't know if updating is even a possibility because
They are not that broken.
mm,
I know they're broken because the perception. When the perception is the system is more worth than a human, if humans believe that, there's nothing you can change. You can destroy them, you can bomb the system, you can update the system. There's nothing. If the human doesn't see that a human being is more valuable than a system, when a system can decide, Michelle, you need to be killed,
mm,
it's over. We have given up humanity when
mm.
we allow that to happen. Nobody can
But
kill.
we do allow
Yeah,
that
I
to.
know.
Yeah,
That's us.
and this
So
is
it's never the system's fault. It's the
yeah.
humans' fault, because we are not aware. That's why the wisdom seeker society is so important.
Yeah, but I mean, and in this time that we live in, ignorance is a choice. I'm sorry, you cannot tell me any otherwise. Awareness is readily available if you are interested. But
But there
we,
is so much said. That spirituality is also a system. and there's so much shit said. If I don't have and you don't have such a feeling to plug in, we would totally be in a different way. We wouldn't even met, because you and I are plugged in. So that's the. But there is so I've listened to so much shit in spirituality.
Yeah.
It's the same as in politics. It's the same
But
as in
that's
systems.
systemic, though. That's not. We need words. Sadly, you know how much I love words.
Yeah, but you cannot generalize. You cannot say generalization is know thyself. That's not generalization. Yeah, it's important. It's an essential thing to be aware, but it is not. When I don't understand know thyself, which I didn't understand when I heard that 16 years ago, when I was 16 years old. You cannot say, "Hey, you create your reality." Are you kidding me? I'm beaten by my father. I'm this. I'm that. The school throws me out. I'm recreating this. You cannot even grasp that.
No.
So I don't. You are right that unawareness is a choice, but unawareness is a choice because you doubt yourself.
Not unawareness, ignorance.
Ignorant. Yeah, but
Ignorance,
you think by ignorant you don't want to know what's really the truth.
No,
So
by saying there is no truth, by
there's no truth.
saying,
Yeah.
I'm not
I,
looking that way because I
yes,
don't want to see
exactly.
what's
Yeah,
there. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, and that's a choice because
Yeah, it's a choice, but it's a choice, a fear choice. Because if it's a gross choice, you don't have to manipulate anything. You don't have to control, manipulate. If you are powerful and know about your power as a 101, you don't have to manipulate and control anything. You can just say what.
well, we don't. Yeah, we don't need to manipulate.
I
How
know,
much
I agree.
I love
No, Michelle,
manipulation.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah,
But if you fear that you are worthless, you're not what nature made you a 101. If you
mm,
believe, look, everybody's rich except me.
mm,
There's something wrong with me. That's the
yeah,
shame. And when you're ashamed, that's why you can't take shame away really yourself. It's very hard. You always has to ask for lifting because you think there's something, you have a total dissonance with nature. Nature made you 101, and you then ignore that and says, no, I have to be that. I cannot be 101. I have to be what most people are. A CEO, rich, wealthy, a great relationship, super healthy. And
mm.
alone in health, everybody's a 101. If I eat steak and feel the best with steak, and you eat steak and you go under with steak. So everybody is different. So this
But indeed,
generalization.
and that's where know thyself comes in because I can't know that I'm different or I can't know me, I can't know how I'm different or that you're different unless I know myself. I can, and that it doesn't just come. It's this quote
You
I
have
was
to
just
live life. You have to live life, and
exactly, and
not be
that's
in the
wisdom.
digital world. See, not being in the digital world, you have to dance with humans. You have
Mm,
to find your thing. You have to play. It's the most creative. You have to create,
mm,
and that's how you find the 101ness.
mm.
But you don't understand. I didn't comprehend what it means. Know that self. I
Yeah.
thought I knew myself. My awareness was at that time, at 16 years old, I knew myself. I said, I know, I like motorcycle, I like girls, I like this, I like party, I like music. I know
Yeah.
myself. What do I need to know? And those are all generalization because not only I like motorcycles, not only I like girls, not only I like music, not only I like to party. It's just that those are generalization, and that's driven by our DNA drive that said we need to fit in. So you look for what are the most patterns, and you say which pattern am I resonating with, and then you resonate. It's a path on the way to find yourself.
Exactly. Exactly.
But you
So,
have
but
to
life
walk
is a
the
path.
path. You
But
cannot
life
do.
is
Yeah,
that path,
yeah,
and that is what wisdom is to me. In general,
yeah,
which is also now becoming a word that's being thrown around very carelessly.
yeah,
But it's not something that someone can tell you or someone
yeah.
can teach you. There's no course that you can do. There's no guru that's going to
No,
give you wisdom. It's all coming from you going through that path
yeah,
and engaging with the people and the trees. I love trees, and the things that
Animals, how great are
animals.
animals? I mean, there's nothing better than an animal. We're so
Oh,
close, even though trees and plants are supposed to know more than we do, but we are disconnected from it more. So the closer
well,
animals are
we're
closer.
not. I feel like I'm more connected now, and I always have been. I mean, I
I've
grew
been
up
also
in it,
more
but
now. I
yeah,
wasn't. Yeah,
yeah. We went on this beautiful soul walk yesterday.
yeah,
At this big garden. It's like a
yeah,
it's a Buddhist meditation center, but they have a huge garden with these
yeah.
huge redwood trees. And as we started to walk, we kind of said, this is our sacred walk space. And we just looked up, and there was this buzzard, big bird of prey, and it was just it literally welcomed us on this walk.
Yeah.
It was like, but if we didn't stop and take it in and experience it, the
You
buzzard would
wouldn't even
still
see the
be in there.
buzzard. You wouldn't
Yeah,
even see it about. You would look at. Does she have the right anorak on, or how
yeah.
is her shoes? Where's her makeup? Why does she have these glasses?
Yeah, but we could look up and see
Yeah.
this bird, and
That you are
it
part of it. That you
exactly.
are part, and then you actually confirm by the action of animals. You confirm that you are part of it.
Yeah.
The animal and the plants. Confirm that. That
Mm.
you are actually a part of nature. That's what we say. We are 101. We are part of nature, and that's we cannot fight nature, and generalization is fighting nature. So the system actually, how we play them now, are actually anti-nature, and that's why we have so much stress and turmoil going on worldwide, because we want to generalize, scale, generalize, lower costs, everything cheaper, not quality, and this is also where quality is also discovering more. So if I do a product and say, most people love to touch this, most people love to feel this, most people don't even want to get it right. You have a relationship with that product. Nobody gives a shit.
Mm.
Nobody. They just want to sell as much as thing. See the money rising. They don't see the product. It's about you started a project. You didn't start about make money. Money cannot be a cost. It has to be a system. And the problem is when you make money at cost, you do stock markets and all this stuff, and you don't. It's not covered. It has no value. Then ultimately, guess who has the least value? Humans. It will end up when the value is the symptom, when money becomes the cause,
Mm.
you automatically take away. Then you have to always make more,
Yeah.
lower the cost. And guess who is suffering? Humans. Humans that created this. We have
Mm.
to wake up and say we are unbelievable, priceless. Otherwise, we could just create humans, and we can't. When they do a cloning of things, it doesn't work. Even when you're cloning sheep, the one sheep they die. It doesn't work,
Mm.
because a spirit is a spirit, and that is non-physical. It's
Yeah.
this is yeah, and
Yeah.
and, and nature makes a very hard thing. I said no, that doesn't work. That is against. You can play your free will. You can do a lot of stuff, but you can make yourself suffer. I mean, you're so loved that you can suffer. You can believe that you can suffer, and you are so that's unconditional love, right? That you have from the universe unconditional love. You can kill yourself, not others, but you can kill yourself and do all that stuff. That's how much you love.
Mm.
But uh, it doesn't mean that this works. And then when you go and say, no, I don't want to do me. I want to do other things. I want to question nature. I want to go against nature. I want to sort out nature. Cleaning woods. The whole thing with cleaning woods.
Mm.
They find now out that when you clean out woods, it's really bad. When you go with the tractors, with the big tractors in woods,
Yeah.
it's really. Boleben is a German forest guy. He's the top forest guy, and it's just unbelievable how, because it's the money.
Mm.
It's for the money. We destroy nature.
But yeah, because we're not connected,
Yeah,
it's not. It's easy to destroy something if you are not connected to it, if you don't experience it, and nature is an experience. I mean, we were talking about this yesterday, because just walking, you see a tree stump that's rotting away, but there's all these ecosystems growing within the tree stump, and it's gorgeous. It's all around us, but we've separated ourselves, put ourselves into these 4 walls made of concrete, and we look at what the neighbor does, so that we can compare ourselves.
We segregate to fit the system, because even to fit the systems, we need to be in our brain, right? To be in the digital world and all this stuff. And so we totally, even though our emotions come from the gut, we totally ignore that. We say, okay, I need probiotics, but everybody needs different probiotics, So we talking about it. It's admit you don't know anything. I admit full blast, I have no idea about anything. I have no education, but I have perception, and I have wisdom, and I can plug in.
And you have awareness.
I have awareness. I mean, how can it be that a person without any education can talk to over 60 different specialty lawyers, doctors, politicians, healers, doctors? How can I help them? And they keep re-inviting me to talk to them. How can it be? Because I look from the human centric. Everybody can do this that listens. Just segregate the human centricity from the system relevance, just in your perception. You don't have to give it up. I'm not saying give up system relevance. Just segregate it and see that you are 101. And that is the key to everything. Everybody's 101. There is no right or wrong.
Yeah, there is no right or wrong. Exactly.
Yeah, there is,
and it's a very difficult.
You can kill harm to none. In the thing of harm to none. But there is no, because in nature there is no harm to. You don't. The lion doesn't eat all the gazelles, so he has for 10 years have food. He kills the weakest one, and before he bites it, the spirit is out anyway.
Yeah. I really like that, Michael. It's going to be interesting.
Closer, right?
It's going to be interesting when we talk again.
Yeah.
You have to give me what do you think? What do you think is going to happen today? After today,
I don't know, and I don't care. I really, there's not big. I handle whatever happens.
Yeah.
Which is power. Power is you deal with what you have, and not with what you wish and want.
Yeah. Well, first you do what you can. You've done your bit, and I think coming from Africa, for me, there is still power in a vote, and it is interesting to see something like this happen in a first world country, opposed to where I come from. So thank you very much. We will carry on with this freedom conversation, because I think I'm not sure, and I think freedom is something we have any knowledge of.
It's like a word of love. It's like the word of love. It's just a systemic interpretation of what freedom is, systemic interpretation what love is, and generally think what success is, and every success is different. Even if I talk something so systemically as success, I've talked to hundreds of people about, because I really studied the success and stuff, and I wrote some pieces about it. Everybody is success differently. I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and do this. I write down everything. I talk to my secretary or my wife first. I go walk with my dog. There's every variation of 101 is success, is a part of success. And everybody just comes reverse engineer after it and just makes up stuff. Oh, because I'm working at the beach every day, that's why I'm successful.
Yeah. Which could actually relate back to freedom. What makes you feel free could be what is your success.
It could be. It must not be. It could be. You can walk with your dog and be enlightened. You can walk with your dog and don't even look at your dog. You just look at your cell phone. So
Exactly. Thank you very much. I'm very jealous about your blue skies. So enjoy that today.
This is my drive. That my spirit lives on that. You know my situation, right? So
exactly. Yeah. Thank you. We will chat again next Monday. See you then.